Stoney Burke.
Red is the last load. Shoot him in. You want to drive tonight or wait till first thing in the morning?
How far is Lone Pine?
Oh, close to 300.
That's a long haul.
Well, you could wire your entry fee on ahead and get a good night's sleep and still get there tomorrow in time for the grand entry.
I tell you, that sorrel horse shook me up some today. I could hardly turn my neck where I hit.
Let's get a bite to eat and call it a night.
Your name Ves Painter?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I didn't do nothing. I've been right here working my way through these goods.
You here alone?
Well, there's been folks in and out, you know, knocking down a few drinks, business as usual.
You come in here with a man named Foley?
Howard Foley? Oh, yes, sir. Me and old Howard, we had a couple short ones together earlier this evening.
You leave here with him?
Well, I stepped out for a breath of fresh air to kind of flush the carbon tetrachloride out of my lungs, you know. And he said good night and went on home, I guess.
No. He went out in the back alley and got himself rolled.
Well, don't look at me. I don't roll people.
You've been pouring it down him all night. You started at 6:30 in his garage. You better come with us.
Now, hold on a minute, mister. Listen, if Howard's going to accuse me of taking his belongings, I'd like for him to say it straight to my face.
How can he say anything when he's dead?
Howard's dead?
You hit him too hard.
Oh, no, sir, mister. I didn't touch him.
You don't tell me. You've been putting in at every bar this end of town. He started to fold, and you steered him outside. He fell and you went for his watch and his wallet.
No, sir, I never did.
You were working on his ring when he came to and tried to fight you.
Look, I swear I didn't.
You picked up a can of coal tar and let him have it in the back of the neck.
Oh, no, sir. Don't you try to put that on me.
You get out of there. Now lean forward.
He's clean.
See, I told you.
Let's go.
Hey, look, you try to pull me in on this.
You're the last person in the presence of the deceased.
Look, I told you all I know.
You can tell it again, a complete statement.
You guys ain't got no right to push me around like that.
You coming? Or do we have to take you out in a stretcher?
Oh, I'm coming. Uh-oh. Stoney, you gotta help me.
Come on, keep moving.
They're trying to make out I killed
What
man.
happened? Let's go.
Wait a minute.
Now, mister, you keep away from the prisoner. I'll take you in, too.
Just like that.
You gotta help me, Stoney. You gotta.
And them boys don't play around.
You think he did it?
I've known Ves Painter all my life. He's a crook and a liar. He'd cheat you out of your last buck. But he comes from a hard-working Dakota family. And if there's one thing they respect, it's life.
Are you employed?
Yes, sirree. I work full-time around a rodeo. Feed the stock, tote the water, drive the trucks, pitch the hay.
It's a wonder you're not too tired to sit up.
Oh, yes, sir. It sure is a wonder.
Those cowboys are hanging around.
Well, let him hang.
They want to know if he needs any bail.
No bail.
How come?
No bail. The magistrate gives you a hearing.
Well, I got a right to...
Look, you're not here for stealing horses. We're holding you on suspicion of murder. Put him in the tank.
I got a right to make a phone call.
All right. Who do you want to call?
Well, I don't know too many folks hereabouts. I'll just save it for later.
Put him away.
I'd like to talk to Stoney Burke.
Yeah, he's one of the ones outside waiting.
Bring him in. Give him a couple of minutes. Ed, you go search his room.
I don't rent a room here in town.
Where do you sleep?
In my car.
All right, you got 5 minutes.
Stoney, they're sure putting it to me.
How come they're on your back?
Well, I'm the last one to see the victim.
Who was he?
Man runs a garage named Howard Foley.
Well, what makes them so sure you did it?
Stoney, Howard Foley left me sitting in that bar over 2 hours ago. I mean, he was feeling no pain. What must have happened is he stumbled out there in that alley and fell down and hit his neck on a trash can.
Well, why are they zeroed in on you?
I tell you the truth, Stoney, I got a guilty look about me. I mean, I'm as innocent as a newborn babe. But I got a way of squinting my eyes and drooping the corner of my mouth.
Look, Ves, they don't pull a man in for looking guilty.
Oh, Stoney, they do. They haul me in, I guess, a dozen times. You just let a man bust a window or rob a hubcap, I'm the first one gets arrested.
Ves, did you do anything? Anything at all?
I swear on my mother's tears.
Well, how did they get to you?
Howard Foley's wife, it's Suzan. She saw me and him get to quenching our thirst, and she started hacking at us. Old Howard told her to go jump in the grease pit. Started her mouth working.
You got him drunk, huh?
Now, there you go. I had a sociable round of beers, and everybody's got to put the blame on me.
Look, you tell me the truth and quit whining, you hear?
Now, Stoney, you knowed me ever since we was running barefoot back in South Dakota. Now, I admit, I cut corners. And maybe I slip off the straight and narrow now and then. I couldn't kill a man. Ain't no way.
I know.
Now, listen. I let you down in the past. But this is a backcountry cow town, boy, and they clap you in a cell. They forget what they put you in there for.
Well, they're going according to regulations so far.
You don't know, Stoney. Them boys and them Pete Tats, They've been pushing me around something illegal.
Well, I don't know what I can do.
Just stay with me, Stoney. I mean, don't leave me. I need somebody to keep them from railroading me. I want to tell you that when you're traveling alone and you ain't got no cash in your pockets and you ain't got no visible means of support, boy, it's another world.
I'll be out in the truck.
Go pick up his car.
What if it's busted?
Search through his stuff.
Do I need a warrant?
You got one. Well, that's it. You can come back tomorrow.
If he needs any money, I'd like to help out.
Save it for a lawyer.
What makes you so sure it was him?
I can smell him, mister, at 60 paces.
They holding him, Stoney?
Yeah. Suspicion of murder.
That's a tough charge.
They got him, Stoney. They wouldn't go to this kind of trouble.
You see that trooper? I'm gonna follow him.
I wouldn't go following no cops, Tony. They get sore and they'll run you in.
Cody, you stay here and see what they do with Ves, huh?
Well, yeah, let's all get run in.
Let's go.
So long, Cody. I'll see you in jail.
If you're looking for Ves Painter's load, it's this up-to-date model here.
You boys tailing me?
Just like to help out.
Painter your brother?
I hope you're kidding.
No kin.
Looks like a rat's nest.
That's what it is.
Will you pull that seat forward out of the light? One of you, get a hold of the other end of this one. Enough scratch sheets to start a racetrack.
Poker chips and playing cards and dice.
What's that?
Money clip.
Let's have it. $60. I thought he was broke.
He was. Look at the initials on it.
H.F.
Is that the dead man?
Howard Foley.
Well, maybe Foley was working on the car and lost it out of his pocket.
Maybe.
Doesn't go to prove a whole lot.
Ties things up. Your boy gets him loaded. We find him dead in the alley. Find his bankroll hidden in your boy's car.
But why would Ves come back here to hide it?
He lives here. If he lived in a furnished room, we'd turn over the mattresses.
But it was laying there in plain sight.
In plain sight. Under the seat.
You don't know for sure it was Howard Foley's.
You gotta admit, it's pretty good odds.
It's got to be, Stoney.
It's for sure that clip didn't slide in there by itself.
$60 is a pretty good motive to bang somebody over the head.
Think Ves did it?
He'd been drinking, he could have got carried away.
It's not in his nature, E.J. I've seen him flat broke down in Tijuana give his last half of tacos to a bunch of starved-out kids.
All I can say is it's closing in on him.
Initials H.F.
Take it over to Foley's house, 1120L. She phoned about 10 minutes ago, so we know she's still awake. We'll meet you there in 10 minutes.
10-4.
Take his clothes over at the pharmacy. Chlorman's there. Have him test out the right-hand sleeve where it's been scrubbed. But, you sure you save a good patch for the state lab to work on?
Yes, sir. You're looking for blood, huh?
That's right. I'm looking for blood.
Any chance to come in with you?
That's up to Lieutenant Voight.
Tell him I was helping you.
Just between me and you, Ves Painter's no good. You know that, don't you?
I know it.
Then why knock yourself out?
Well, I'd do the same for anybody.
Isn't that kind of stupid?
Anybody I believed was innocent.
Well, I can tell you right now, he's guilty.
I know.
Then what's the point?
He's guilty, but he's not guilty of murder.
You cowboys stick together, don't you?
No more than you cops.
I used to ride. Not good enough to rodeo, but I tried to stay on some bucking horses. Look, I'll do what I can about getting you in. But I don't mind telling you, you're gonna see your buddy go step by step straight to the death penalty.
What are you doing here?
He's been helping me, Lieutenant. Took me to paint his car, tore out the seats. He's the one that found this.
I thought you wanted to see him get off.
I do, but can't cover up the facts.
You been inside?
No, sir, but the lights are still on.
Lieutenant Voight.
How do you do? I'm Frank Foley, Howard's brother.
You're the accountant?
I have a business up in Greencastle.
Is Mrs. Foley still up?
She's in the front room. Won't you come in? Susan, this is Lieutenant Voight.
How do you do?
Yes, ma'am. Sergeant Tate.
Stoney Burke.
Oh, yes. Mr. Burke is representing a suspect we brought in. I think you know him, Miss Foley. A man named Ves Painter.
He was with Howard.
Did they come over to the house, or did you drop by the garage?
I stopped off to see why Howard was working overtime. They were sitting in the office drinking.
Miss Foley, it's no secret here in town that your husband had trouble with liquor.
Only when someone started him off.
Was he in the habit of carrying considerable sums of money on him?
There was money in the cash register, the day's receipts.
How much would you say it averaged out?
Oh, $40, $50.
Can I ask you, you ever seen this money clip before?
Yes. I gave it to Howard 3 years ago on his birthday.
Do you have any reason to know why it would be in anybody else's possession other than Mr. Foley?
You wouldn't give it away.
Even if he'd been drinking?
Please excuse me, Lieutenant.
My brother never gave anything away, Lieutenant. If you found this on anyone, it was stolen.
I'm inclined to agree with you, Mr. Foley, but in a town this size, $60 is quite a large sum of money.
The garage was in a good location. Howard's pretty well off.
You handle his accounts?
Yes, I drive down once a month to check out the books.
How much do you say he was worth?
Oh, I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't know real estate values.
Are you his only brother?
Yes.
Do you have a family in Greencastle?
No, I let my business take up most of my time.
Are you here on business, or did Mrs. Foley call you?
She called me.
On account of the death?
I drove right over.
This is one time I couldn't blame you for breaking the speed limit. How far is Greencastle?
86 miles, sir.
Will you take care of the arrangements?
I'll handle it.
Sorry to keep you up so late, but this is out of normal routine.
Tony. Hey, buddy, I'm glad to see you.
They treating you all right?
Well, they run off my suit of clothes. I wouldn't sit on that bunk if I was you. It's got some creeping wildlife on it.
Ves, I know the truth isn't in you. But if you want me to help you, you gotta level.
What'd I say wrong?
Not what you say, it's what you didn't say.
You get to clue me, Stoney.
What about the money clip?
I don't know nothing about no money clip.
The one we found under the seat in your car.
Stoney, I don't carry no money clip. I never had no clip.
The initials HF mean anything?
Howard Foley.
You sure he wasn't waving it around when he paid for the drinks?
Well, he didn't pay for no drinks.
Oh, I guess you paid for them.
Every last one of them.
How come? I never saw you buy a drink for anybody.
Oh, I buy plenty.
How come you never bought one for Cody or EJ?
Well, them boys got money.
Howard Foley had money.
Not on him.
How'd you know that?
Well, Stoney, look, he wouldn't go for the tab. That's how I know. I mean, I must have poured a better part of a gallon down him, and he'd never sprung for a dime.
Why were you so generous with him?
I was just being friendly, that's all.
Okay, Ves.
Hey, Stoney, hang on a minute, will you, please? Sit down. Look, I admit it was a kind of an investment. But it ain't what you're thinking. I wasn't setting him up to roll him. I was just setting him up to write off the bill on my car, that's all. I mean, that old heap needed plugs, rings, taps. Shoot, he was into me for close to $50 worth of repairs. I figured investment in neighborhood bars, and, well, he'd just tell me to forget what I owed him.
Ves, did you go out in the alley with him?
I never did.
Okay. Okay. Ves, if you're lying to me, just that much, I'm gonna let you go under without a splash.
I swear on my mother's tears, Stoney.
This is Lieutenant Voight. Yeah, I'm on. Okay. Make out a report and send it on upstate. We got him.
You mind to tell me?
That was the pharmacist. It's a preliminary test, but it'll stand up. There's a patch on Ves Painter's shirt sleeve, heavily saturated with powdered soap, such as you find in a washroom dispenser.
Well, what's that go to prove?
Under the soap, there are traces of red corpuscles, bloodstains. Type not yet determined, but as soon as it is determined, you can bet it's going to match Howard Foley's.
You gonna hit him with it?
I'm going to give him a chance to confess.
Can I see him?
You've seen him enough. You're not his lawyer.
Well, I can get one.
You better do that. Right now.
Where are we gonna get a lawyer?
Tate, Edwards.
I locked the bolt.
So did I.
Hey, slipped this piece of wire through there, looped it open, and slid it out of there.
Oh, you can't be too far away. Put out on all points.
Right.
What happened?
He busted out.
Escaped?
You give him a piece of wire.
No, I did not.
Are there springs in the cart?
Yeah.
He peeled the wire out of it.
You know where he'd head for?
Well, I'd say his car.
Look, you find him and there's a reward in it.
You know, this ain't the first jail that old Ves ever climbed out of.
It's like hanging on to a greased gopher.
Where you headed?
Rodeo grounds.
Is that where you think you'd go?
And stock trucks pull out before dawn. He'll be hiding in under the saddle horses. Let's go.
Stop now, hold it right there.
Oh. You Red?
Stoney, for crying out loud, I thought you the horse thief. What you doing stumbling around this hour of the night?
Looking for Ves Painter.
Old Ves in a mess. Got somebody out in a dark alley.
He busted out of detention.
He ain't been around here.
Maybe he's in one of these trailers.
Let's take a look.
Ves?
All right, get off of me! Get off of me now! You boys gotta show off how you played football, don't you?
Hold still now.
What's the idea of busting out of jail?
You know a better place to bust out of?
Don't get smart. There's a whole platoon of troopers out blocking the highways like to get a leg iron on you.
You ain't gonna turn me in, are you?
You better believe it.
Oh, come on now, Stoney. They got too much on me.
You got too much on yourself.
You talking about that blood stain they found on my shirt sleeve?
Oh, you cut yourself shaving, huh?
I lied to you, Stoney. I had to do it.
You never have to. I warned you, Ves. I'd let you go under.
Oh, you'd have let me go under anyway. I mean, even if I was telling the truth. Ain't nobody believe me.
Did you kill him?
No. But I did just about everything else but.
Well, what happened?
Well, me and Howard was hitting the bar, see? And he was just about to keel over.
Come on, keep talking.
Well, Howard got up to leave the bar. And I followed him out in the alley. And he walked in that big trash heap and he passed out, hung, just like that. So I eased over and I was fishing through his pockets. Now, I swear, Stoney, he didn't have a cent on him. I come up empty.
What about his watch?
And I'm telling you the truth now. Good or bad. I swiped his watch and his ring. I'm ashamed to say it. But I'd had a couple of drinks myself and I was at the end of my strap. I took him out to the straight light to get a good look at him. And that's when I got to feeling sick of being a thief.
EJ, you sing a hymn while I take up a collection.
Oh, I know you boys, you don't believe me. I got some pride left, though. I mean, I live by my wits, but I don't go for no dog in the gutter stealing. So I went back down the alley where old Howard was laying face down in that trash, and I was trying to put his ring back on his finger. But the minute I touched him, I knew something was wrong. So I reached across his back, and that's when I got that blood just smeared all over my hands and all over my shirt sleeve.
You didn't hit him?
No, Stoney, I didn't hit him. I mean, I go low. Close to, sometimes I don't think I'm ever gonna get back again, but I don't hurt my fellow man. I mean, not to draw blood.
Let him up. Did you see anyone?
Not a soul.
Did you run?
Just as hard and fast as I could go. But I still had the watch on me, see? So I saw this trash can, I just kind of dropped it in there and eased away.
You think it's still there?
Well, it's got to be, unless they got a night pickup service or something.
Cody, EJ, you two Red. I'll need you to come along as witnesses.
You believe me?
Well, you got a fair chance, Ves. Stands to reason that if you try to get rid of a valuable watch to cover your tracks, you'd sure get rid of an initialed money clip. No sense hanging on to incriminating evidence. Well, what do you think?
If we find a watch, I say we ought to believe him.
Let's go.
Take him.
Red, you and Cody keep a lookout. Ves, stay in the back under the tarp. Nothing.
Stoney, I hate to say it, but it looks like he's playing us.
Well, it made sense.
It always does.
It's the man on the pinto.
Come on, let's get out of here.
No, they'll run us down.
You gonna hand him over?
Well, they'd find him sooner or later.
What's going on?
Checking out some old trash?
You better clean that up.
Yes, sir.
Now, what's it about, Stoney?
Well, we located your prisoner.
Where?
Put away your piece.
Well, I can't say that I blame you, Stoney. But I got to tell you this. If the tables was turned, I'd make sure you was on the first freight train out.
I'll tell you something, Ves. There's nothing in your favor, but I believe you didn't kill him.
That means you still gonna try to help me?
Long as I know how.
Let's go inside.
You can't help him, Stoney.
He's guilty, that's all.
Get him a lawyer.
Let me ask you something. How do you know if a horse is an outlaw or gentle?
You look him in the eye.
The way he backs his ears.
Horse can't lie to you, can he?
Not to me, he can't.
I say a man's the same way. You sense if he's good or bad, if he's telling you a lie.
One thing I sense for sure, Ves is a liar.
Well, I'm not saying he's honest. I'm saying I can sense if he's telling the truth.
Like when was that?
He said he dropped that watch in the trash can. I know he did.
We looked through every last candy wrapper.
Well, then somebody fished it out.
Why?
Beats me. But the least we can do is to look around.
Stoney, I don't know about you, but I could use me some shut-eye.
Maybe we got the wrong trash can.
Well, it's too late to go searching trash cans.
Well, look, you stay with the truck. I'll go poke around.
Heck, I'll keep you company. I'm supposed to be on a night shift anyway. It's no way to live, is it? No way.
Let's go.
Tony? You see what I see?
The old timer. Look, we're not gonna hurt you. Here. Here's $50. Go on. Take it. You can buy some cow meat and coffee. Now look, I'm not gonna hurt you. All I want to know is where you got your watch. Where'd you get it?
He's got a mouse nest in his head.
Look, you haired over old goat. You dug that out of a trash can, didn't you? Did you see a man come out of the alley? Skinny boy, looks like a homeless coyote.
Keep it up, Stoney. You got him singing like a catbird.
Did he come out? Look at something in his hand. Go back, and then come out again? And the last time he came out, did he drop that watch in the trash barrel? He's sure going along with the way Ves told it. Did you see a green horse go by here with purple spots and a yellow mane?
Ask him something he can shake his head no to.
You want to give me a present of that watch? No. At least we're getting through part way.
You know what I'm saying? Talk American.
Listen, you say something or I'm going to take your watch away.
No.
Now look, you tell us the truth and you can hang on to it. You hold out on us and now watch. Did you see anyone else? Did anyone go into the alley before the man with the watch? Did anyone come out after?
After.
You saying that another man came out after the skinny boy? Do you know who it was? You telling me the truth?
Yes.
Do you know what the other man looked like? Was he tall, heavy set with dark hair?
Yes.
Green with purple spots.
Cut it out.
I'd hate to think what a good lawyer would do with this haystack.
There's only one man it could be. Foley's brother.
Who's he?
He said he came into town to help out after Foley was found dead.
Man wouldn't kill his own brother.
Happened in the Bible, didn't it?
Yeah. Cain sure slew Abel.
Foley's got a lot of money and a good-looking wife.
Men slew for a lot less.
If I show you the last man, not the skinny one, but the last one to come out of the alley, will you tell me who it was?
Stoney, you could show him Cody Bristol. He'd give you the nod.
Well, it's worth a try. Now, look, you come with us. You come with us, I'll take your watch away. Come on. Take the old man planted behind these bushes. I want him to get a close look at Foley's brother and keep him quiet.
Pretty late to go knocking on people's doors.
Stay out of the light. Who is it?
Stoney Burke.
Who?
I came by earlier with the police.
I'm sorry to bother you, but we've been out investigating.
What can I do for you?
Well, it's about your brother's watch. Do you know if it had a leather band on it or was it metal?
I don't know.
Well, do you think Mrs. Foley would know?
She's gone to bed. Is it anything urgent?
Well, we think we got the man that did it.
I thought you already had him.
Well, we picked up an old panhandler. He was hanging around the alley. He had a new watch on. We think it belonged to your brother.
Do you think he's the one?
Odds are.
Well, did he tell you anything?
Bunch of gibberish, but I'd say we got him.
I could get Mrs. Foley up.
No, it'll wait till morning. I ought not to come bothering you so late. Good night.
Good night.
You get a good look at him?
Plain as day.
Was that the man, one of the ones you saw in the alley? Now, you better say yes or no before I take that watch off you and turn it over to the police. Now, was that the man or wasn't it?
Yes.
He fished it out of a trash can where Ves Painter tried to get rid of it.
Can you prove it was Foley's?
Well, the wife can tell you first thing in the morning.
Can you prove Painter had it?
Make him pick it out.
Won't mean much, except to show Painter robbed him.
Well, it'll go to prove he was telling the truth.
Tate, Ed, let's see your watches.
I got a watch.
You want another?
Bring Painter out here.
Yes, sir.
He thinks it's his.
Well, maybe it is.
Stoney, you give me a word, I quit worrying.
You ever see this man before?
No, I can't say I've had pleasure.
Is this the man you saw come out of the alley? The skinny one? He the one dropped the watch in the trash can? There you go, Lieutenant. If he tried to ditch the watch, it stands to reason he tried to ditch the money clip, too.
I didn't ditch no clip.
Just a minute. Did you steal one of these watches off of Howard Foley?
Oh, yes, sir, but I'd rather say borrowed.
Which one?
Well, it was that one with the sweep second hand there with the grease-proof band.
Object identified. You lock this up with Foley's... Hey, tag him with...
Hey, give me that.
I'll buy you a new one. Now, what was this about another man coming out of the alley?
Well, the old man saw another man come out just after Ves.
Can he identify the man?
He already has. We stopped by Mrs. Foley's house. Give him a look at the brother.
Brother?
Yeah, he said yes. That's the man.
Is that brother, is he kind of square set and got dark hair?
Yeah.
I thought I saw somebody follow me and Howard.
Hand me the phone. This is Lieutenant Voight, District Police. You give me the night supervisor. Foley's brother told us he drove over from Greencastle to help Mrs. Foley. If he drove over to help, he knew his brother was dead. If he knew that, she had to tell him by phone. This is Lieutenant Voight, District Police. I need an immediate check on a telephone call placed by a Mrs. Howard Foley. 1120 Elm. I don't know the number. The call was made sometime after 9 p.m. tonight. Long distance to Greencastle. The party in the receiving end was a Mr. Frank Foley, 7313 Vermont. That's right. Check it out and call me right back. Put him back in detention. Mr. Foley, Mrs. Foley.
Lieutenant, Mr. Burke stopped by and said you recovered a watch which might belong to my brother. My sister-in-law happened to be awake. I told her about it, and she decided she ought to come over and identify it in case you needed to make your arrest.
Tate. This belong to your husband?
No, that wasn't Howard's watch. Howard wore a metal strap.
In that case, we can release this man.
Just a minute, Lieutenant.
Mrs. Foley ought to know, Stoney. Have a minute.
Thanks.
Will there be anything else, Lieutenant?
Not at the moment, Mrs. Foley. Lieutenant Voight. No chance of any errors. Thank you. Mr. Foley, would you come back here a minute, please? Just for our record, when you drove over from Greencastle, you weren't stopped for speeding, were you?
Well, no. I may have broken the speed limit.
Of course, it's an emergency.
Well, Susan was quite upset.
Mrs. Foley, did you leave your house any time this evening?
No, why?
You didn't visit your husband's garage?
No, why should I?
Well, I thought perhaps you might have called your brother-in-law from the garage.
I didn't go near the garage.
Then you placed the call from your home.
I needed a member of the family with me.
You're quite sure you didn't go out?
Now, what's happened? Did someone say that they saw me at the garage?
Someone planted your husband's money clip in Ves Painter's car.
Well, I believe the police know best about that. Now, when you notified me, I was hardly able to move, much less leave the house.
Don't you think you're a little out of line, interrogating Mrs. Foley?
No, I don't think so. If you prefer, I'll ask you a couple of questions.
Can it wait till morning?
It's better I ask you now. Were you at your residence in Greencastle or at your business office when Mrs. Foley called you asking you for help?
What's that got to do with it?
Or were you in town here all afternoon?
I most certainly was not.
It's the first of the month, Mr. Foley. Isn't that the usual time you come to check over the accounts?
What's the point, Lieutenant?
The point is, there's no record of any long-distance call from Mrs. Foley to Greencastle.
What? There's some mistake.
Yes, there's a big mistake. You were here, Mr. Foley, paying your usual visit. You and Mrs. Foley saw Ves Painter setting up his petty larceny. You took the opportunity to change it into a capital crime.
Tony, they wiped my name off the books. Told me to stick around as a police witness. How about that?
You're lucky they don't put you behind bars on general principles.
Oh, they can't touch a man who's got a true friend.
Don't get the idea I'm your friend. It's like bog riding. You come across a steer stuck in the mud, you grab him by the tail and haul him out.
I owe you one, but I want to show my gratitude.
Just try to stay on the right side of the law for a couple hours, huh?
Okay. You know that old bum that runs around looking out from underneath all that hair? Well, they had to take that watch away from him. They need it for evidence. I was hoping you might see him and give him this as a token from old Ves.
Give me my watch. I've been looking all over for that.
Oh, that watch belonged to you?
I left it laying on the desk.
So long, Ves.
I'll see you at the rodeo. Let's go.
This is Jack Lord. I'd like you to watch a few exciting scenes from next week's episode of Stoney Burke.
Aren't you the bronc rider?
Yes, ma'am.
I saw you ride today, Stoney Burke. Roy thinks you're very good.
Well, I'm sorry I don't know your name.
Roy forgets to introduce me. I'm Mrs. Hazelton.
You do. Quite a place you have here, Mrs. Hazelton.
Yes. Roy collects prizes. Everything here is a trophy. And so is everyone.
$2,000.
I've got me a friendly bet going that says you're the better rider.
Mr. Sweet, Stoney's top hand, but I ride to beat 'em all. Bet or no bet.
Fine. But you can still use some extra money, can't you?
Oh, yeah. I can always use extra money. Just don't get the idea you're buying anything.
Take it easy, Stoney. Now get this straight, mister. I didn't win for you. I won for myself.
Do you know what you're saying? What you're giving up?
How much do you have to win before you're satisfied, Mr. Hazelton? More land, more money? Looks to me like you're set to keep winning until you're the biggest loser of them all.
Nobody talks to me like that. Nobody. You understand? My name is Roy Hazelton, and I want you to remember that. Hazelton. People jump, and I don't even have to snap my fingers. Nobody turns me down. I can make or break people like you any day of the week.
Burke.